Something most people these days don't know about me is that I will have a quick temper. I can pretty much control myself, which is a good thing, because when I was in my late teens, I was not in any kind of control. Luckily, I didn't hit anybody first. Never hit anyone first. I would try to antagonize them enough so that they would get mad enough to try to hit me first, in which case then I could do whatever I wanted to. I never beat anybody up. I would just hit them enough until they fell down, and then I would walk away. And if they chased me, I would hit them again till they fell down, and then usually that was it. But I had a quick temper. It was mainly because of sports, and I hated to lose, and I'm not going to say I played dirty specifically, but I played not to lose, and I won a lot. Anyway, the reason I'm starting with that is because I had gotten over that for the longest time. I was pretty calm and everything that goes with it. Then I get a little older. I have a few things start happening to me here and there that are out of my control. I don't like that. Then I get married. I go work for myself. And overall, things were going well for a while. But even there, you would run into things where you would get mad, but you couldn't share it because I'm independent. You can't go into certain situations showing people that you're mad at them for a lot of stupid reasons. I mean, stupid on their part, and then me being upset with it, knowing, there's really nothing I can do about it. This brings me to basically 2 weeks ago, when first we had the biggest court in the land, because I'm not calling them their name. They decided that New York State did not have the right, as well as a whole bunch of other states, by the way, to put rules on people regarding open carry. And New York State had always been a non-open carry state. If you wanted to open carry, basically means, you can go out anywhere you want to. You can have a gun tucked into your pants or into your belt, or you could wear a holster. But in New York State, you had to get special permission to do it. You had to prove the reason that you needed a gun. And, I didn't mind that law. I thought that was a pretty good law. That way you always knew who the criminals were. But the Supreme Court, misreading the Second Amendment again, decided, no, y'all can't do it. And the reason I said New York law is because it was a couple of guys in New York who decided to put the challenge through. They lost in the Supreme Court here in this state. Then they took it to the people in Washington and they totally changed it. And after that, I knew what was coming the next day. And sure enough, the next day they decided that they were going to kill Roe versus Wade after 50-year precedent, saying that it was bad law to begin with, which made no sense at all because it was Republican judges who had made sure that it stayed precedent for all those years. So, and I was angry. I was angry because I'm sitting there thinking, what can I do? What kind of support can I offer to anybody on something like this? And one of the things I really wanted to do, good thing that you can calm it down somewhat. My thought was, my first thought was, I'm going to go get myself a gun. And then I'm going to walk behind someone at Walmart. This is terrible to say. But I'm going to walk behind someone at Walmart to see if one of those folks are carrying a gun. And if I see the open carry, then I'm going to pull my gun, put it to the back of their neck and say, okay, how safe do you feel now that you've been carrying a gun? That was my first thought. Then the second thought was, I don't want a gun. I'll just take a knife and I'll do the same thing. Well, luckily I took my time and I thought about that and said, I'm not going to do that. And then I realized, it took a few days before I realized that that's not a law that necessarily goes into law immediately. So New York State got to pass a few other laws, and one of those things they said is that you can't use it in certain places. For instance, there's no open carry in New York City. Thank goodness. No open carry. City of 8 million people. No, doesn't need it. And you can't carry it in places like movie theaters or big grocery stores. Whew. That solved a whole lot for me. But still, I just got so angry. And I realized later on that, it's a good thing that I have picked up the habit of learning to calm myself down before I do anything. Because I was going to do a video last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I was going to do a video right then. And I said no, because it's going to come across as being really angry, and I don't really want to do that, especially after following some of the other videos I've done. I said, no, I need to calm down. And so I've calmed down. And I'm doing this because I want to mention this to some other folks. You know, there's been a lot of stupid shootings in this country over the last month or so. Buffalo, and we had Uvalde, Texas. I wanted to make sure I pronounced that right. Then you had what happened in Highland Falls right outside of Chicago. And then you had something in Virginia. And it's always someone who just decides that for whatever reason, they've built up their life so that they think they're being put upon. They think that someone is trying to get them somehow. They get this manifesto because they're pumped up by Fox Spews, because everyone writes these manifestos and they're repeating the same stuff that that network is saying. You know, you don't have anyone sitting there saying that someone peaceful said something and therefore I'm going to go out and kill them. No, that just doesn't happen. So, you know, we've got a lot of tension that's going on in this country. We've got people who are mad at the January 6th committee going after the orange guy and the Oath Boys, let's see, Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, who haven't even watched any of the January 6th committee panel hearings that have been on TV. So they're just mad to be mad. And it's just one of those kind of things where I think it takes more than telling people just take a deep breath and calm down. It really takes a whole bunch of things. For instance, I walked. I walked a lot. I wrote some, but I didn't write like a blog post. I just basically wrote stuff. I mean, actually, I pulled out a tablet and I started writing. That helped to cool things down some. I put on some things on YouTube and watched some of those, because I don't watch regular TV, but YouTube, you know, I can sit here, I can watch a couple of videos, I'll be good. And I just took some time, let it go. I put on my Harry Potter ambient music, which you can find on YouTube. And that helped me to calm down. We really need to figure out ways to calm down. You can't go around being angry all the time. If you're angry, you might come up with a solution that's probably not the solution you want to do. No one wanted to see me carry it. The last thing I want to be seen is carrying a knife, because, once again, I hate to say this, but this is just how it is. If you're black, you don't have to do anything. You'll get killed. But you got a guy who shot 70 rounds into a crowd in an expensive neighborhood, killed a bunch of people. They didn't kill him. They didn't kill, was it the church kid, I think, who, you know, shot all those people at the church in South Carolina. It's a double standard. But can I afford to get mad? No. Got to be calm. Got to think about the reactions. And let's face it, you know, I've been doing this for over 60 years. Okay, probably, I guess we'll say at least 40, 45 years. Probably not all 60, but still. If I can find ways to calm down and relax and not just go after everybody right at that moment, I think everybody can. But I'd like to know, what do y'all think? Are there any of you who have your way of trying to calm down from a situation that's made you so angry you just want to slap your dog? Don't be slapping your dogs. Please don't slap your dogs. Y'all let me know. My name is Mitch Mitchell. This is probably the shortest video I've done in a long time. You can thank me for that later on. Y'all take care.